again for another episode of Outdoors People. First, there's me, CW Getz, and her, Maya Marzaki. Good evening. It's Wednesday, August 12th, 2026. It's 82 degrees Fahrenheit and cloudy here in Arlington, Illinois. That converts to 27.78 degrees Celsius for the rest of the world. Tonight, actually, we had two guests. Now we have one, and we had a co-host. Now we have just a host. So we're it's a little different than what we had planned, but we're going to have a great time just the same. So let's do this. First of all, I'm going to do a little introduction here, whipping papers around. And I hope everybody can hear me because I could not hear the opening introduction, the introduction that we do here, I guess, for the show. I couldn't hear it. So I hope everything is working the way it's supposed to. I guess we'll find out soon enough. And if not, we'll record this and we'll do it later. How's that?
Either way.
All right. Tonight, we welcome the family behind Green Eggs and Fam, the poultry operation located on a farm near Tonica, Illinois. Besides raising poultry, Kyle and Bianca Fogle are also raising their two young children, son Caleb and daughter Rosie. Bianca, originally from Chicago, is currently a stay-home mom, but many people in our area may recognize her voice from her time as a radio personality on 101.3 Q-Hit Music as Busy Bee. Kyle works at the Walmart Distribution Center in Spring Valley, Illinois, and when he's not working or tending to the chores on the family farm, you can find him enjoying his other hobby of horticulture. Together, Kyle and Bianca share a love of physical fitness, motorcycles, traveling, and spending time with family and friends. They're also known for hosting some extraordinary gatherings with plenty of food, games, laughter, and great company. And with that, welcome to the show, Kyle. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Well, didn't have to battle any snow drifts or anything like that to get here today. Like I think a couple times you were here before with Bianca, and it was.
Out here in Arlington, it's wide open. It's kind of like Tonica. The wind's just going to hit you full force. Out here, you never know what's going to happen with the snow.
Yeah, and you know what's really weird? So speaking of that, like out here in the wide open, we had some storms roll through yesterday and today. And today, what did I say? The temperature was 82 degrees Fahrenheit. But I'll tell you what, yesterday, it was about as hot and humid as I don't know, as I like this. Not that I really like that even, but it was very bad.
It was nasty. Yeah. Everybody at work was complaining. I did not want to be in a trailer to help out anybody. I scattered away. I hid out in my office as much as I could. I'm not going to lie.
I imagine those trailers get pretty hot. How hot do they get?
People have actually taken the temperature in there, and they can get up to like 130 degrees sometimes.
Whoa.
Inside the trailer with the beating hot sun. And if you don't have good circulation at the very nose end of it, when you're really, almost done with the trailer, that's the worst part because you just pure humidity, pure sweat. You're just in the swamp. We have an intern in right now from Oklahoma, and he's besides himself. He didn't believe it could be this hot and humid at the same time. He's been to Texas. He's been places. He doesn't know this Illinois weather at all, and it's the corn, plain and simple.
I agree with you. And the weird part about that is my wife is from Brazil, and I think even Maya said this when she was here, also from Brazil, my co-host. They said, this is worse than Brazil. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah. I mean, it's hotter and more humid than Brazil. So, I mean, what does that tell you, right?
Mm-hmm.
People think, and Florida, I think we're worse here than in Florida too. When I say worse, I mean heat and humidity
Combined.
Yeah.
I agree. I've been to Florida many times, and I feel the same way.
It's the corn thing, really. Like
I feel like the corn just holds the heat. You wake up in the morning, there's a fog everywhere around you, but my pasture doesn't have fog in it. What's going on here?
If you don't have the fog, you got the smoke from the wildfires, right?
Yeah, so, you do. Yeah.
It's and the chemicals from all the farmers whipping around the car.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a great place to live. Kids. Bring your kids. Move to Illinois. It's a great place to live, man. Really.
Welcome to the prairie.
So true. Well, all right. Well, we're gonna get started here, and Bianca, I hope. So here, I wrote a note. Bianca wasn't able to join us this evening. Little Rosie is feeling a little under the weather today, so Bianca couldn't be here. But we hope she's watching. I'm pretty sure she is.
I hope so. I think so.
Yeah. So you'll be with us in spirit, Bianca. So I'll just ask you these, and you can answer for the both of you. How's that sound?
Please.
Number one.
I can do it.
How did you guys get started, first of all, in the poultry business?
Okay, so before we ever looked at a house or anything like that, we had been thinking about, okay, what kind of size of a place we want. Do we want to have animals, things like that? And I was always against chickens and other animals. I'm totally into plants. You know, I love my flowers, perennial gardens. I love planting my zinnias and my sunflowers in the summer. I love seeing things grow over time and taking care of them. They're precious little things, right? But it's nice. You know, they're plants. They come, they go, you do it again. So it's a vicious cycle. It's beautiful to me. Well, her father decided he wanted to find a property out here and he wanted to go in with it on me. And I thought about it and I thought about it. And I said, why not? Let's try it. The property came with chickens. There was at least a dozen chickens there when we moved into the property. People had left them there. They said that they were going to leave them there. My father-in-law wanted them to be there. So I was figuring, okay, I'll just be the landlord, the tenant of the place, take care of the animals for him and see how it goes, you know? And I grew to love it very quickly. I love the routine of it. I love the work that's involved with it. I love the reward of seeing an egg being laid in front of your eyes. Yeah. And it was just a wonderful experience. So I fell in love right away. And my wife did too. So
you had never anything to do with chickens or any of that farm animal stuff beforehand?
No poultry at all.
Wow.
I had helped my grandpa a little bit on the farm with the horses. You know, he'd go deal with the pigs, but I didn't do anything. I just was there. I've been at cow farms and stuff like that. I've been in 4-H, FFA stuff. I've been around everything, right? I grew up around it, but I've never done it.
You know what's really weird? And maybe it's just me. You know, I've said, I feel like sometimes I live in a shoebox, but I've never heard of, maybe it's more common than I'm aware of, but maybe I've never heard of animals coming with
a property.
Farm. Yeah, with the property. Is that something you've heard of before or no?
Not very often, but once in a while, like you're buying a dairy farm, though, that's different, right? I'm buying a dairy farm. There's going to be cows there. We're getting our operation still rolling, but just buying a agricultural, zoned farmhouse, you wouldn't expect that to actually happen.
Yeah,
you thought they'd want to take everything. Oh, we want to leave a few here with you. Okay.
That's cool.
Then just leave them. We'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, they die.
Yeah, right. I'm sure, right? Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. And so this is kind of stupid, but they were laying, they lay eggs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And who was collecting the eggs before you guys move in, or was it kind of a shift at all at once? Somebody was there the whole time.
So we were there almost every day moving in through that process. Sometimes we'd leave it alone for a day or two, but because there were so few chickens, there was only a handful of eggs.
Right? Okay.
The most eggs we'd ever come into is maybe a dozen at a time, I'd say.
Okay.
Now, because we might have not been there collecting them, like I said, every single day, there might have been a few times where the eggs were cracked open and there might have been a forming chick already.
Oh, no. Seriously?
So, my sister-in-law had that happen to her.
Oh, wow.
Freaked her out.
I can imagine.
But that's how important it is to be in your barn picking eggs every single day. In fact, you should really pick them 2-3 times a day if you can.
I can imagine. Oh, my God. You know what's really weird? So, and Bianca, we were just talking about how I met your wife. She came from the big city.
She did.
And how did that work? I mean, was there a big adjustment there, or a little bit of adjustment, I'm sure, right?
Oh, definitely a big adjustment. Yeah, she's a city girl from Chicago itself, right? So the only way to get around for her was public transportation. She didn't have a driver's license, right?
Oh,
so,
wow.
So getting on a bus, taking the train, she was really good at all that stuff, whatnot. But had she ever been around the country lifestyle? Not really. She might have been on vacation here or there, went to Mexico to see her family, you know, see the ranch, I guess you could say, but be involved in it, be in that lifestyle all the time? No, never.
Wow.
I transplanted her down here. I grabbed that beautiful perennial flower. I said, this one's mine. I brought her down here, and now she's just looking more beautiful than ever.
Did she adapt to it right away, or were there some like, oh my gosh, what the hell?
Full force,
like Green Acres, remember?
Yeah. No, she adapted fast,
Really?
really fast. She was like, oh, I'm taking care of this house. This is my thing. I'm out there picking up sticks. She's out there pregnant in the winter picking up sticks.
Wow.
God bless her. You know,
do you remember Green Acres where she said, I give you 3 months, or no, was it 6 months, and then we're going back to the city if I don't like it? None of that.
None of that. Nope. Wow. It was like, we're diving in full force. This is our life now.
Wow. That is so cool. You're very fortunate.
I'm very fortunate, very blessed.
Big time.
Yeah.
So, but that was from Chicago to LaSalle. And then, because you lived near the school, we remember being at your house and then from LaSalle, which was it's not a big city like, you know, Chicago, of course, but then to the farm. That was the big adjustment, though.
LaSalle was easy because, you got the country life around you all the time. You see it, you enjoy it. She loved the freedom of it. No stoplights, you know, in Putnam County, not within the entire county, right? It's rare to hear, right?
Right.
Your county doesn't have a stoplight. Yeah, you just go. It's 7 miles to get across the county, 7 minutes.
Yeah, you've heard of Hooterville, right? That's what we got.
It's
right?
Great, you know. And she fell in love with the ability to just move, and everything is within 10 minutes. That's, you know, I need this kind of food. I need to go to this kind of store. Well, most of it's within 10 minutes. It's not bad. Yeah. But then going from LaSalle, where you have all those amenities right around you all the time, to a little bit more in the country. Yeah, we're just off the interstate. We can drive a mile to go a Casey's, or, you know, go to town if we need to. It takes us 10 minutes. It's really not too bad. Yeah. So, but being alone, being more secluded, it's peaceful. She loves it more than ever.
Really? Because that's exactly opposite of what I would think.
Away from the noise. She's used to hearing an airplane flying over the top of her head because they live close to Midway back then. So you hear that. She wanted nothing to do with that lifestyle. I converted her so quickly. It was amazing.
Oh, wow. You know, we froze there for a second. I hope that doesn't happen again. You know, the funny part about that is I wondered if being in the country alone, you know, while you're working or away or whatever, if that was a little scary to her, maybe just at least at first.
Absolutely, a little bit, because, you know, you can see the interstate off in the distance. Any Tom, Dick, or Harry could drive off the interstate, drive along our road, and, you know, mess around at our farm if they want to. I'm sure, you know, that could happen. But thank God, you know, it's a pretty peaceful place overall where we're at. We have a really nice neighbor next to us. He's just really a stone's throw down the street from us, which is nice. And he keeps an eye on us. You know, he keeps an eye on things for us. We keep an eye on things for him. He's always said, "You hear a gunshot, I heard nothing."
I love that.
I hear one on your property, I heard nothing too.
Yeah,
so
right.
it's super cool like that. But, you know, I see a groundhog running through your property. He gives me a call. You know, I see something out of whack. We got each other's back.
That's pretty cool.
So we have a good vibe out where we're at. Everybody knows everybody.
You don't quite get that in the city, I imagine.
No. You are getting into your house. You lock the door. You're not saying hi to people. People aren't looking at each other like that. Everybody's moving fast. You know, out here, everybody's moving pretty slow for the most part. Yeah, she locks the door. Obviously, that's just built into her, and you should.
Well, but, you know what's weird about that? You say that. I mean, that brings up an interesting point, because I didn't lock the door for years. My dad didn't either. My mom didn't. No. But since my wife lives here, doors are locked, and, you know, everything. Hell, I didn't care. I didn't even think about that. I did keep a gun next to my bed, so if somebody came in the middle of the night, I guess you really want to better announce yourself first. But,
that's why I keep my toenails long.
There you go. Right. So, yeah. Okay, so your chicken chores.
Chicken chores. Oh, man.
How much time does that take out of your day? I mean, because you're a busy guy. You've got kids and job and everything else.
I work at the DC, the Spring Valley Walmart DC. I also teach classes at the local community college too. Luckily, they're all online, so it makes me have a lot more time on my hands to plan with doing structures of that. It takes me roughly about, on average, at the most, half an hour a day, I'd say, on average.
And that's total or each time?
That's total each day.
Really?
Yep. So my routine right now is first thing in the morning, go check on them, throw them some grain, leave them alone. That takes me 1 minute. And then my routine is at the night, my picking of eggs, my minor
There you
cleanups,
go.
feedings, things like that. Just general maintenance.
So you're taking eggs at night, not in the morning, which is good.
And the
right?
best thing about doing it at night is it's so dark in the barn, I can candle them right then and there.
What is that?
Egg candling. So that's when you take a very bright, such as like a iPhone light, LED light of any sort, and you put it up against the egg and you shine it at the egg so that way you can see through it. That way you can see if the embryo is actually developing or not.
I think I have heard of that.
You can see air pockets, imperfections, cracks in the eggs, all sorts of things like that.
You know, admittedly, I don't know a lot about chickens. And I embarrassed myself some years ago when people said, you grew up on a farm, you don't know anything about chickens. I said, I don't. And I used to help my grandmother right here collect eggs. And we did ours in the morning, of course, but that, you know, but,
and back then, it's probably all the white leghorns only, like the white ones, huh?
Yeah.
Right? That's a big thing around here. I asked my grandpa, they had 100 white ones only. Everybody says white ones is all they had. They make the most eggs. They're active, self-sufficient for the most part, and a lot of times if you do free range them, but they eat the less if you keep them confined. They eat far less than every other chicken.
Really?
And they make the most eggs.
That's interesting.
So that's why they're mass-produced so much with those white leghorn eggs, the white egg.
Are there good and bad points to that, or just...
I mean, it's good because you get eggs so fast, right? But the longevity of the bird, that's the thing you're sacrificing.
Oh.
You know, if it makes so much eggs so quickly in its life, it's going to take away from its longevity, how long it could possibly live. Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I would never would have thought of that.
Some breeds can live a long time. Some can live a short time. It depends how you take care of them, honestly. Just like with any other animal you have. You know, they can live to be 12 years old, some of these chickens.
Oh, wow. That's
can you believe that?
That's a long time for a chicken, I guess.
Yeah, it's a long time for a chicken. But perspective-wise, you know, it's like a horse is 40 years. A camel can be 70. That's a short lifespan.
I had a horse that almost lived, I think it was 36 years.
Amazing, right?
Yeah. I think it was Palomino. That's a very serious question I have to ask. You ready?
Go ahead.
Foghorn Leghorn was one of those that you're talking about. Am I right?
Foghorn Leghorn. Yes,
that's interesting. When you said Leghorn, I go, oh, yeah, but that's what Foghorn Leghorn.
That's the one. That's the white one. I do declare.
When you guys go, and I know you go because you do motorcycle, you do motorcycle trips and you do vacations like anybody else, right? When you go,
we try to, yes.
Who takes care of these chickens? Who takes care of that?
That's where you have to ask for some help. You know, thank goodness my parents live in McNabb. From our house, it's a 10-minute drive. Okay. So for my dad to come over and add some water to the feeders, give them food into their other feeder and collect the eggs. It's not a huge chore to ask of him, really, luckily. And then I just, pay him in eggs, which is nice. That's the thing he wants.
Well, that's a good deal, man.
But we've actually set up some trips where we've gone away for 2 straight days, right? So that's 2 days of eggs I would normally have to pick. And I've been able to accommodate my flock to where I have enough water, have enough food provided for them with my feeders, and I have enough space to where they don't break too many eggs and it can be okay.
How do they break eggs? How does that work?
For some reason, chickens, they're just not the brightest creatures in the world.
Okay.
They all want to go to the same box at the same time sometimes. And you could have 100 boxes in that place, and they're very particular about their box.
Do they fight over that space or what?
They don't really fight, but they will jump in with each other and get side by side, so on top of each other that somebody's going to move and possibly step on an egg. And when one breaks, they can't help themselves. They got to eat it.
Oh, really?
They do. They do. Once they see fluid, once they see movement, they want to eat it. They want to peck at it.
Does anyone know why?
I think it's just because it's food. They want it. Simple as that. High protein, calcium, things that they crave for their body to make more eggs. They're going to eat it.
That's interesting.
I wouldn't put it against any chicken. You take an egg, smash on the floor. 9 times out of 10, they're going to go straight after it.
Wow. I never would have guessed that.
Yeah. The thing is, you want to try to prevent that as much as possible, right? So once you get a chicken that starts wanting to cannibalize eggs all the time, it's hard to break it from that. So that's why it's so important to collect your eggs every day. You don't want that built into the whole flock.
So will they purposely go and break eggs just to eat them then?
They might then. Yep.
That's a problem.
They very well could then start breaking them on purpose.
Oh, that's interesting. I never heard that before. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't know a lot.
And I'm learning things new every day. I'm still new to this. I've only been doing this for 2 years now.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah. How long has it been?
About 2 years. And I'm learning new things every day. I'm not an expert by any means. I definitely am not a novice by any means, but I can tell you a thing or two about chickens.
Well, you post regularly on TikTok.
Absolutely.
And I see a lot of people asking you questions. So you've become a bit of an expert on this.
What's nice is there's such a great community right now. With being online, you get to learn a lot of things. You got quite a number of books around the house that I do refer to every once in a while. online documents I can read. Even your local veterinarian, that might be a poultry doctor, right? You get a hold of them if you're having an ailment and they can walk your way through it. But I'd say the biggest blessing has been the people at Rural King. Honestly,
Really?
they are friendly. They want to talk about chickens. They love it to death. And I love it to death too. So it couldn't be any better. I'll spend sometimes just half an hour looking at the chicks and talking to the guy that's running the chicken stand there.
I see a lot of your videos are taken and shot in Rural King.
They are. And we've become a little bit famous, I guess you could say there. In fact, I kind of took a little short hiatus because I cheated on them. I went over to Farm Fleet and bought a couple bags of feed, and they all saw the video, and they had to tell me all about it when I walked back in. Then I go away for 2 weeks, because I got enough feed from them then as well. And I come back and they have a new employee who knows who I am. And they're going, I heard you've been cheating on us.
Oh, wow.
You've only been dating me since Wednesday.
That's funny. And that is one of the things about living in a small community is everyone knows what you're doing or has heard about what you're doing if they haven't seen it firsthand.
But it is fun. I mean, I have gained many new acquaintances, many new friends because of this. And it's people that I truly do appreciate in my life. It's couldn't be better. Yeah.
That is cool though. I mean, and the fact that you become a local celeb there, I mean, it's got to feel good, right?
It does feel good. And, they have farmers markets there. So I go to that and bring my eggs into there. I just love talking to the people there. We exchange, information, whether it's, hey, I got this going wrong with my chicken, or, hey, I'm looking for a rooster. Well, do you have one? Well, we got a community for that now.
That's cool. That's like another sort of an extended family, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love the fact that you're kind of like a celebrity couple. You've got your wife who's like, a celebrity. She's a celebrity on her own. You're like Eddie Van Halen and Valerie Bertinelli. How's that?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take
love
that.
I love it. What do your parents think of all this? What do they, both your parents, by the way?
Yeah. Well, her father's all gung-ho about it. Like, Kyle, go do it. It's the farm. Take care of the farm. Do what you can, and make it as big as you want. He's really proud of what I've been able to accomplish. And he wants to help pitch in when he can and do things like that. He's in love with the ranch lifestyle. That's how he grew up in Mexico. As a little boy, he'd help his grandpa plant the fields, ride horseback, do all those things.
Wow.
Then he gets transposed to Chicago, and that's his new way of life ever since he was 8 years old. So you forget that. But he wanted to go back to it. He missed that feeling. He missed that aspect of just being able to work the land yourself, taking pride in something that's yours.
I spoke with him. In fact, I was fortunate enough to be invited to your wedding, and I really appreciate that, by the way. And during the reception afterwards, I had a chance to talk to him, a little bit more in depth, and I thought, well, that's cool. And he did not tell me about his past experience on the farm or anything like that at all. And so this is the first time I'm hearing this.
Yeah. I mean, he has zero accent, right? You'd swear he was born and raised in Chicago his whole life.
Exactly,
if you talk to him on the phone, you'd swear he's just a regular old dude, but he's quite experienced in life.
Which kind of, it's interesting because now that sort of makes sense. It's like why he's so into, supportive of all that. Yeah.
And he loved that fact that I was from here, that I was different than all the other gentlemen that have been around him, and, with his daughters growing up. And, he values everything that we're doing here very much so.
What do your parents think of all this?
My parents too, every idea that I have is first like, oh, Kyle, whoa, what are you doing? And that just drives me to want to do it a little bit more sometimes. But
that's funny.
Once they figured out and knew how close to home I was and the realisticness of what it really was, they knew it was going to become a family kind of compound place, a place where we can all grow together and just enjoy it. And they wanted to jump into it full force too. My dad is so mechanically sound. Like, he's so good at maintenance things. He's helped me a lot through the way. My mom is just balls to the wall woman. Like, she sees something, she goes at it full force too. She helps out so much with everything around there. We've been very blessed with all of our parents have helped us so much through this entire process, just moving out to the farm.
Now, did your parents have that farm background?
So my dad grew up in the country out by Deer Park. They didn't have a farm. They just had a house out in the middle of nowhere. He didn't grow up in that lifestyle. My mother, she grew up in the town of Hennepin. Her mom grew up on the farm, as well as her dad grew up on the farm. Okay. Right. So all the grandparents have grown up on the farm. They're all into that lifestyle. My grandfather lived in Lowell, so I got to spend a lot of time around him baling hay, very similar to, probably not perfectly similar to what you were doing when you were a kid, but baling hay, a lot of hard work, hard labor, taking care of animals, doing things like that. helping him when he's combining the field and I'm driving the tractor by him. Just values that a lot of it was just great opportunity, great values I learned from these people. My grandparents helped mold me just as much as my parents when I was young.
Did you get to shell corn? That was the fun. I really hated that.
Shelling it? No.
I hated it.
No,
I hated
no shelling it through the machine.
No, I'm talking about like if you the corn in the corn cribs and the big sheller comes and you get to put the drags down. Yeah, did you ever get to do that?
Never got to do that.
It's not that much fun, Kyle.
It doesn't look very much fun. No,
miss much.
Like, we let the combine do that for us.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. And by the way, I didn't mean to cut you off before. I think I cut you off. You weren't quite finished, so I apologize for that.
No, it's just we've been very blessed with our parents with how much they've helped us through this process, and it's great. You know, it's a great place we live. It's great for our children. It's been wonderful. It's just such a blessing to grow up in the environment that we're in right now for our kids. Something I always wanted was a lifestyle kind of like that. But growing up in Tom McNabb, I kind of almost had that. You know, we live in the subdivision and you got farm all around you. It's really cool. But I always was like, it always looks like it's pretty fun out there. I want that. I really do. And now I have it.
That's
and it couldn't be better.
Yeah, you are very blessed like that. I mean, that's remarkable. How long do you think you'll be raising chickens? I mean, do you see yourself doing this years from now, or now we're gonna give it 5 years and then see what we want to do?
Yeah, I could see this being a downsized thing when I get older. Absolutely, I feel like I might get into like breeds further down the road. Probably give up selling eggs at one point, but for now, it's something really fun for me. It's something I feel like I can give to my son. Yeah. He's 3 years old right now, and he helps me every day out there.
Really?
Yeah. He comes out there. He helps me collect eggs. He helps me water them. He helps me bring food to them.
At 3?
At 3. He picks them up and holds them and takes pictures. I mean, you might have seen that footage earlier. He's holding them. He's doing everything, you know. He wants to pitch in. It took him a while to learn not to break the eggs, you know, to set them down gently and take your time, you know, a lot of frustration. But I feel like I'm going to reap a lot of what I sow, right? So the more I can teach him, the more I can take more time into this now. Yeah, it's going to take me twice as long to do everything now. I get that because I'm working with a 3-year-old. Yeah. But when he's 7, 8, 9, he's going to speed me up and then look out.
You ever have days where you get overwhelmed?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, oh my God, you know what? I'm doing so much. I can't do this today.
Yeah.
You feel like that?
I'm in that barn and sometimes a shout comes out and I go, what am I doing?
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. It's frustrating sometimes. Chickens aren't the smartest creatures in the world, too. They do some dumb shit. Pardon my French. I don't know if we're allowed to cuss on this.
You're okay. You're okay.
All right. But no, they do some wild things, and it can be frustrating. But, you know, it makes you go, why did I get myself into this?
Yeah.
But
I wonder that.
I mean, at the end of the day, I see what I'm doing. I'm very proud of my work. I see how it's brought me and my son, you know, some values to use together then, too, with work ethic. I feel like it's something I could pass down to him. So it's something generational to me now.
When Rosie's old enough,
yeah,
do you anticipate her being part of this?
Oh, she might be a better chicken wrangler.
Really?
We know. I feel like she might. She's a tough little cookie already in ways.
Really?
She's a good little baby. She's special to me. But I think she's going to be a tag team with Caleb out there helping out with the chickens for sure.
You just kind of sense that.
Yeah. And I want to help them if they want to do 4-H. You know, I'm not going to force them, but hey, try it out. You know, show your chickens.
You're in LaSalle County.
Correct.
In Tonica. So that would be the LaSalle County Fair. That's in Ottawa.
That's in Ottawa. They just had that about a month and a half ago.
Okay.
Maybe a month ago. We went and checked it out. We always
go
every year.
I wondered about that.
We take Caleb. He loves to look at the sheep, the goats, the pigs. Those are his thing. The cows, he likes to see them. He doesn't like to get too close. You know, the bigger animals.
He's smart. Yeah.
He's pretty neat about it. Chickens, he likes them. He's like, oh, look, Papa, blue one, green one, you know, whatever color it is of an egg he sees sitting down there with him. He notices the same things that he knows with our chickens, but he sees that some look the same, some are different. He's interested. He likes it.
You know, bringing up the eggs, what is it with the rainbow eggs? What's that all about?
Rainbow eggs. So different breeds of chickens produce different colored eggs. Okay. And if you have certain genetic lines of those certain breeds, they can be different shades of those colors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's all depending on their genetics. The standardized color of eggs we've always known in America for the most part is just a plain white egg. Right?
Or brown, white or brown.
Or brown. So you see brown eggs, right? You see brown eggs in the stores. Mm-hmm. But do you see blue? Do you see green? Do you see things that are speckled, you know, cream colored eggs?
I'm waiting for purple.
Sometimes they come out with
Are you making that up?
No, I'm not making it up. They look purple when they come out
initially.
It's the bloom. It's the protective coating that the chicken produces.
Well, that's what it is.
Ejects the egg out. Yep. And that is actually something that helps protect the inside of the egg from oxidizing as fast, so it preserves it.
You know, it's funny. I do remember that because when the older people used to, like your grandmother would have eggs on the counter, they would leave them like for months. I heard they keep up to 3 months if you don't wash that protective coating, right?
This is true. So yeah, if you have your own chickens, putting eggs in your countertop, it's perfectly safe. Perfectly safe.
As long as you don't wash that coating off.
As long as you don't wash the coating off, they can last, just like you said, 3 months, no problem. Especially in a cooler environment, they can last even longer. I've even read some information where it shows they can, in theory, last up to a whole year as long as you don't wash them. As long as you keep them refrigerated, though. Then.
Okay. Because the other way on the counter.
No, it would spoil.
But no refrigeration for 3 months. You don't wash them, and that's the key, right?
A duck egg will spoil very fast compared to a chicken egg.
Oh,
I know that for a fact. I've seen it happen. So, yeah, I mean, chicken eggs are different than duck eggs. The bloom is much more protective.
The bloom, but that's the color. So you're saying
that's the initial outer coating, and then if you wash that off, it changes a slightly different color.
That's interesting. I did not.
So sometimes an egg will look pink or it'll look purple, and then you wash it off, and then it's just a pretty shade of brown.
That's bizarre.
Yep.
That's the part I didn't really
Sometimes you'll have an egg and it's really dark chocolate colored, and you start washing away, and some of that bloom comes off and it changes, and you see the speckles on it all of a sudden.
Now, do you guys wash your eggs, or do you not? Or how does that work when you're selling eggs over there?
So it's very strict guidelines in Illinois, which is nice. If you are a farm producer and you sell them from your property only, you don't need a license, and you don't need to have them graded or measuring their weight. You don't have to clean them and things like that. You just have to advertise that they are unwashed, they are ungraded, they are nest run eggs, so they could in theory be fertilized.
Okay.
I refrigerate them though in the stand according to what they need me to do, and we do not wash them, so they're that way.
Okay.
But if I sell them off property, which I go to farm stands or farmers markets, like Rural King, where I did one time, town markets like LaSalle will do them in different places like that.
So you do that?
I'll do that. Or if I sell them to a store to sell them, like a restaurant downtown LaSalle, they have to be cleaned. They have to be weighed. All the measurements have to be done to make sure that it is a grade A large egg overall, meaning the whole case has a weighting of 24 ounces, basically.
Okay.
There's certain guidelines for weight, like weighting eggs, right? Small, medium, large, extra large, jumbo eggs. And you grade them based off of that, as well as how large the air pocket is in them. If there's no air pocket, 100% grade A egg, perfect egg. There's very strict guidelines.
But I imagine if you're doing all that, then you're making more money on those eggs that you have to do all that labor, put all the labor into than when you're just selling them in your front yard, right?
They're actually about the same, actually, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, because the regulations are so loose when you sell them from your property. People want them like that. So I sell them for $4 a dozen.
Okay.
And when I go to other places, I might strike a deal with them if they buy a ton from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, $4 a dozen.
I've heard that there's a big difference in, and I shouldn't say heard because I guess we've done this camping before. I get the fresh eggs, take them camping. They usually taste a lot better than store-bought eggs.
Definitely.
But you notice a big difference than everybody else, I'm sure, that you sell to does too. Right?
Tremendous difference.
Yeah.
I have this one gentleman at work. He feeds them to his dog because he notices that the dog is running around more because its joints doesn't hurt.
Oh, really?
Its coat looks better. It's a healthier dog.
Wow.
Yep. He eats them. He notices the difference. Everybody sees that the yolk is much more gold in color.
Okay.
Much richer in color. Even the hardness of the shell, you notice too, because they're not bred. My chickens is mini, yes, they're all bred to produce more eggs, but they're not producing at such an astronomical rate that it's depriving their own bodies of calcium and possibly even depriving the egg of calcium to where they're softer. These eggs are sometimes so hard, you got to crack them really hard and they still don't break.
Well, that's good, right?
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah.
That means they got plenty of calcium in their diet, plenty of protein in their diet.
And the oxygen it's less able to penetrate that.
The thicker the egg, the better in theory. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell me about the rocks. What is that rock thing where the chickens eat rocks or something about that? What is that? What is that about?
They eat rubbish basically. But they eat a lot of rocks because in their digestive system, they don't have enzymes as like we do to break down everything in their diet.
Okay.
They actually need a tumbling system to actually.
Is that what that
So they
is?
eat rocks, and the rocks help break down their food into smaller particles, so they can absorb it.
It's like a tumbling machine. Of course, some people wouldn't understand it, but it's media rocks that smooth metal parts and a vibrator. Big commercial.
Just trying to break it down. So that's what they do.
Did not really quite understand that. I mean, I knew they ate them, but something happens, but I'm not sure what.
Yeah.
See, I told you, living in a shoebox here on the farm.
A
And I
chicken
grew up
will
on a
eat
farm.
anything. You'd be surprised. It's like worse than a goat, I'd say. They will eat anything. The only thing I don't feed them, obviously, because you feed them scraps. Everybody does that, which is very good. It's a good way to preserve, weight, preventing as much waste, I guess you'd say. So, I feed them all our cuttings from vegetables and fruits, sweet corn, all those things. They love gourds. They love apples.
Oh, really?
Bananas.
Interesting.
Sometimes I'll even add herbs and spices to their feed so that I can actually kind of like give them more nutrients and detoxify them, cleanse them in a sense.
Oh, when you say gourds, do they like the
Pumpkins.
outside of? Oh, okay, the outside
They
as
eat
well.
the whole thing.
The whole thing.
They love the seeds. The seeds are the best thing out of gourds, like squashes and pumpkins.
I've heard that's where the most nutrients.
Yep, most nutrients and detoxifier.
That's interesting. What breed of chickens do you all have?
Oh, I have like 50. It'd be hard to name
really?
them all.
Do you know all 50 by heart?
Well, mostly.
I put you on the spot. I'm
Alphabetically,
sorry.
probably not. But we have Australorps, we have cream leg bars, white leghorn, we have brown leghorns, blue-breasted brown leghorns, we have midnight majesty Morans, we have black copper Morans, we have starlight green eggers, we have Americanas, Easter eggers.
Easter? Are you serious? Easter eggers?
Easter eggers.
You made that up,
They
right?
make green or
Oh
blue
my
or
gosh.
pink eggs. They
That's
do.
funny.
They make colored eggs.
Wow.
There are breeds like Orpingtons, Wyandottes that we have.
I've heard of that one, I think.
I'm sure. Yeah. That's from, I think, northern, like New York area originally.
Okay.
Those come from. Chanticleer. I'm sure you've heard of Chanticleer.
No, I don't believe
Those are from Canada. With those breeds, so they're very hardy. They have smaller combs, so they're less likely to get frostbite.
Oh,
and then they're more even keel with producing eggs through the wintertime a lot of times because they are so cold hardy.
they're adapted. Okay.
Yeah, they don't need as many sun hours. Sun hours are very important for chickens. Staying warm is important, but sun hours is probably the most important thing, and that's why the problem is in the wintertime that they produce less eggs.
Is that like a vitamin D thing?
Yeah, they need that sunlight.
Really?
14 to 16 hours of sun keeps their egg life cycle intact the best.
Wow.
So they produce the most regular.
There's a lot of stuff.
They love the sun. They will just lay in the sun. They'll lay like they're dead, and they're just in the sun and enjoying it on a non-humid day.
Do you well? And by the way, adversely, then how do they do in the summertime? This is like the intense heat hard on them.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's worse than the winter is. Honestly, the winter they are much more hardy in the winter. I'll have to say that than they are in the summer. And the problem is humidity. It's not that humidity. It's too hot.
Okay.
It's that it's too hot with that humidity, and they can't dissipate their heat.
They don't sweat.
They don't sweat. They have to hold their arms up in the air. So they got their wings up. So they're trying to let more cool air hit their bodies.
Oh wow.
They gasp for air, try to catch it in their mouth more.
Really?
They're very docile during that time. Oftentimes, some of them won't even leave the barn because they'd rather stay in the shade altogether and avoid the sun.
I know feathers. I know this from I don't know how I know this, but I just know this. But feathers repel water.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
But do people have sprinkler systems that may?
I wouldn't doubt it.
For chickens or no?
I wouldn't doubt it. I'm sure there are people. I haven't done that myself personally, but I'm sure there's something of that nature.
Or like where they go in the water somehow and
I try to just give them as much cool shade as possible so they can give themselves dust baths and stay in the ground where it is cool. Yeah. And then cool water. Cool water is very important, just having water all the time. But once in a while, a chicken can get sick, and if it does catch basically like a summer respiratory infection, like pneumonia basically is what they catch.
Oh, wow.
And some of them can get over it. Some of them can't break it and they die really quickly. But identifying that as soon as possible is key because they have issues with their nasal passages. They're gasping for air. Their eyes can get a little closed, even foamy. Even out of their nostrils, you can see foam sometimes because there's all that moisture in their lungs.
Oh,
they just can't get it out.
Wow.
So there's different products.
Did not know that.
Different products you can put on their tongue and their water underneath their wings to help them. But with a large flock, it's almost impossible to grab every single bird and know which one you've done that to and cure it that way. So in that case, you have to go with more of like not just a regular therapeutic remedy like some people might do. You might actually have to consult with a doctor of poultry, and they might recommend like an antibiotic or something like that for you.
How many chickens do you own, would you say, or do you know exactly?
Give or take on any given day. Only counting the layers? No. Counting everything that's chicks, roosters, hens that are laying or not laying, we have roughly right around 200 birds.
200 birds.
200.
And if I remember correctly from some of your videos, some of them have names. I'm sure not all, right?
Many have names. We name many of them after famous people, usually,
Really?
or funny words, associated with eggs. Like
that's cool.
We have one called Over Easy.
Oh, really?
Yep. And then her daughter's named Over Medium. No.
Over me.
Little things like that.
I love that.
Hard Scramble is another one.
That's so funny.
But then we have famous people like, Dolly Parton we have out there. We got Reba McEntire out there.
I remember Reba.
We got the Judds, Winona and Naomi Judd.
Whose idea was that? Was that yours or Bianca's?
A little bit of both, honestly.
Yeah.
I started coming up with some wacky names, and she just kept rolling with the country names. I'm like, let's keep going with this. We got to find a Shania Twain now. We'll get there one day.
You guys have a great chemistry between the two of you. The way you interact. I mean, and not just. Well, I would say this before the chickens, or maybe not before, but when it was a small herd. I don't know, what do you call it? Herd of chickens or group of chickens?
Yeah, flock
of chickens. Yeah. And I can only imagine that whole camaraderie thing carried itself into the chicken production. Yeah, so I think that's very cool.
Yeah, what's great is she gets to use all of her background of with being into production and learning about TV. She gets to film, and I get to be her muse. Yeah,
I thought about that. When I see that, I'm thinking, yeah, you guys are both doing what you're really passionate about. Did she? How much does she get into this as well? I mean, outside of the filming and things like that, does she go out there and do eggs with you, or does it's pretty much like, no, that's you got your own jobs? Is that kind of how it is?
Kind of like that. That's actually how it is. We're more separate on things like that. I do all the dirty work with that, and have Caleb assist me a lot of times. Yeah. I prefer her not to be in that environment as much too. It's okay that she wants to pitch in and help me every once in a while. That's absolutely fine. But I feel like it's my endeavor in the long run. Let me take care of it.
I know there's some dusty stuff going on. I watched one of those videos.
Yeah, and I don't want to subject her to that kind of stuff either. Neither my boy either until he's old enough to start understanding. But yeah, I have to mask up.
And you can get him a mask that fits him. Exactly. Do they make little guy masks? I don't know.
There's very powerful fumes. You get that strong ammonia smell, and you can spread your barn lime and do your techniques to keep it as dry as possible. But over time, it's still going to start to get rancid in there, and you got to clean your barn.
That's one thing I do remember about doing the chickens that I didn't really enjoy was there was pretty strong ammonia smell when you walk in there.
Mm-hmm. And what's nice is, you can use your pine bedding, which is great, to help make it a better smell. The lime helps. Okay. You can do treatments like that. But then all be all is take the time to muck out your barn and do it regularly, do it repeatedly. Because I tried the deep litter technique where you leave it alone for about 4 months and just stir it up every once in a while and keep adding. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, spending a whole 2 straight days digging that barn out, it's not very fun. It's not very rewarding, and it is putrid smell, and it's not worth it. So take the time to do it.
I can imagine. Now, there was one thing where I remember with horses, using wood chips is great. It's fine.
Yeah.
Except for walnut, because it's toxic to horses. Is any of that with chickens?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can use things like coffee grounds are fine. Pine bedding is fine. Straw, hay, the normal stuff you can go ahead and use. That's absolutely fine. Sand. But you do want to refrain from some things with finer particles like cedar. Cedar is actually very toxic.
Cedar.
Yeah, cedar is very toxic. And plus, if they eat, it's bad for them too. So stay away from cedar. Even though it smells really good, you use those in horse barns and stuff like that. Not for a chicken barn.
Interesting. Books.
I
imagine at some point you said, I got to get some books and learn about chickens.
Yep.
First of all, how long or how much reading did you do before you said, okay, I've got enough to go on. I'm just going to do this stuff now?
Oh, my goodness. Probably a couple hours only. And
really?
Yeah, because I just wanted to learn the basics of just how to make sure these things survive.
Okay.
I wasn't bought in yet at the beginning. I was like, I don't know about this.
Checking it out.
Well, I'll do it for my father-in-law, but I don't know if this is going to be my thing. But I figured out that I liked it and I wanted to learn more and more. So yeah, I did buy some books. Like there's a book called the Chicken Encyclopedia I picked up.
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah,
that's a good one because it's an alphabetized A to Z of everything that could be happening with a chicken, and you can use the index, look it up, and I can learn more about how to treat the chicken, or what type of comb is this versus that, or what's this wing pattern, or all sorts of things, all sorts of weird facts.
Yeah.
And then people are encyclopedias as well. So I just bang information and ask people, at Rural King, hey, what's this? What's that? Yeah. What's special about this breed? What do I need to know about this? This is what's happening in my barn. What should I do? Matt the Chicken Man, he's been a blessing to me. And plus my TikTok friends have helped me out a lot too.
Matt the Chicken Man.
I have 2 Matt the Chicken Mans. I have Matt the Chicken Man that lives in Lyons, Colorado.
Okay.
And I have Matt the Chicken Man that runs the chicken department over in Rural King. Very helpful people.
That's very cool.
I've been very blessed to have them.
Well, I love it, man. Hey, I tell you what, let's do this. Let's look at a couple of commercials and take a little break. We'll be right back. And when we do, we'll look at some photographs that you brought us to check out. How's that sound?
10-4.
All right, cool.
Campmore in Paramus is open, and we're fully stocked with everything you need for your next outdoor adventure. Stop in for safe in-store shopping or buy online with curbside pickup. Check campmore.com for our latest hours. Campmore, for over 40 years, your outdoor recreation store.
Duluth Pack is handcrafted for every lifestyle, making memories since 1882. In store at 365 Canal Park Drive or online at duluthpack.com.
We're one big family, a community of paddlers, and we want to make sure that everyone has a great time out on the water.
We are made right here in Sparta, Tennessee, USA.
This is where every Jackson kayak is born, built by hand with a focus on innovation.
We are Jackson Kayak.
We are
Jackson Kayak.
We're Jackson Kayak.
We are Jackson Kayak.
A few years ago, someone asked Rutabaga's owner, Darren Bush, "Hey, how long have you guys been selling boats?" Darren replied, "Well, we don't sell boats. We sell time on the water." Of course, that comes in all types. We help people paddle more safely with Rutabaga outdoor programs. We rent canoes, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards. We sell and install racks to get you from home to adventure. Rutobaga's got everything you need to get you out on the water, like paddles, life jackets, dry bags, and clothing. Rutabaga Paddle Sports. On the web at rutabaga.com.
There's nothing like being out there. For over 50 years, we've been connecting people with nature by building classic Canadian canoe designs using the best materials available. We built a reputation on durable, dependable canoes that allow you to focus on what's important, whether that's unplugging in remote wilderness, spending quality time with your favorite people, or nailing the perfect line. Visit novacraft.com to find the perfect canoe for you and locate your nearest authorized dealer.
And we're back with my guest, Kyle Fogle, here on Outdoors People. Kyle, let's take a look at some pictures. I'm being playing engineer here as well.
Let's do it.
We'll see what happens.
See what we got.
Okay.
Oh, there she is. That's Ingrid.
There we go.
That's our Icelandic female. So
Really?
Icelandic is a land race. It's not identified by the American Poultry Association as a breed.
Okay.
In Iceland, they are very, very particular about their chickens.
Oh, wow.
Like it's like a religion almost.
Oh.
There is apparently less than 5,000 of these in the world.
Oh, really?
That's how rare there are.
Is that means that makes them expensive?
To give you
I'm
perspective, there's about 27 billion chickens in the world right now today.
sure. Wow.
27 billion.
And how many are these, you said?
5,000. Wow. What's nice is I have a male and a female, and I've been able to create offspring from them now. So I've been blessed because of TikTok. I met some people online. I met this gentleman named Matt who lives in Lyons, Colorado, where Bianca and I happen to go every almost year camping. So we're going to see him next year with the kids. But he said, I'm going to send you some hatching eggs that are, because he got them shipped from Iceland from the Lyle bloodline. There's 4 bloodlines of these chickens. They're so rare and hard to get. It's almost impossible. But he had them shipped from Iceland to his house. He hatched them out. He took the time to get them into egg production age, mated them, sent me eggs.
You know, did you video that when you?
Yeah.
I think I watched that one.
Yeah.
See, I'm kind of a fan of you guys. I see your videos. And
absolutely.
Absolutely. That's so cool. Wow.
It is cool.
That's impressive.
Small world, lucky. I've just been blessed to have this gentleman in my life. He teaches me a lot. We talk about things. I'm learning things, and so is he too, even though he's been doing chickens for a number of years.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. That's So Jean-Claude Van Damme.
But of course.
That's a brown leghorn. And isn't he beautiful, those colors?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's every color in the rainbow. You know, you got green, you got blue, you got everything all over his body.
He looks like a parade chicken.
He
or a
is.
or what do you call those, dancers or
He's
performance?
gorgeous,
Yeah.
isn't
That's
he?
cool. Yeah.
You know, that breed makes the white eggs. So very similar to what you get in the store.
Interesting. Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So this is a Welsummer rooster. His name is Sean Connery. Very suave. Yeah.
I love these names,
Sean
man.
Connery.
It's so cool.
And those make speckled eggs. And that's the Icelandic rooster. His name is Eric, after Eric the Red.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the great thing about Icelandic creatures, their chickens, are that they have the purest bloodline of any chicken in the world, actually.
Really?
It's like 78% pure to being perfect. So that's the best bloodline you're going to find of any chicken. Everything else in America has been muddled together and blended so much, you know. But very pure chicken. They're from like, what is it, the year? 8 BC? That's how long the lineage is back.
How in the hell did they know that?
They just kept everything closed off. They didn't want anybody else having their chickens.
But I mean, how did they records that far? Wow.
Yeah, that's how long they date back to when they check the genetic bloodline of these chickens.
Here's the little guy right here.
That's Kale. That's my boy helping me out. Yep, picking up a chicken. He's got a little Spanish one in his hand right there.
What does it say? Just kicking or chicken?
Just kicking chicken. Just kicking chickens.
Oh, is that what it's?
He'll kick them every once in a while when I tell him to. So you kick the bad chicken. Stay away from the bad one.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious, man. That's a good picture.
And that's a crossbreed. So with that chicken there, I crossbred our rooster. His name is Cluck Norris. He's a Bielefelder rooster.
Cluck
Norris. He's a German breed. Yeah. He was crossbred with a cream leg bar hen, which those make blue eggs.
Okay.
And she came out that color, making green eggs.
Okay.
So I really like this breed. I think this is a breed I'd like to start crossbreeding a lot. What's the cream leg bar with the Bielefelder?
What is the green band around the?
That's for me to signify like when I got her, as well as the color of the egg that she should produce.
Oh, really?
Yep. So it helps me break it down. And then, sometimes I do sell hens, and every once in a while I'll say, hey, just none of the green or blue ones, pick out something else that you might like.
That's interesting. Here's the rainbow.
Yeah. And that's an actual basket of eggs, the way they were laid. They'll lay them on top of each other like that dense.
You didn't place those.
I did not place those. Those are as clean as they come out their butts. I mean, I was very lucky that day. I said, wow, this is a beautiful little setup. Let me take a picture of this right here and there.
Oh, definitely.
And if you notice, this is just a bag of bedding. This is pine shavings.
Yeah.
I just cut the top of the bag open, and they wanted to lay there.
Really?
So you're buying the shavings anyway. Why spend the money on a plastic little layer box that's $22 when you're buying bedding for $5? Just set that there, and then once you want to use the bedding after about a month, throw out the bedding and then start a new one.
That may have been in one of your videos. I think you yeah.
Boxes, like fruit boxes, are my best friend. You take two of those, fold them together, it creates like a little nook in there.
Fruit?
2 or 3 can fit in there, and they're not as pushing against each other to fight for space.
You said fruit box.
Fruit boxes, like a banana box.
Oh, real? Oh,
Yeah.
like you'd see it like Aldi's or something.
Yeah, something like that, like an Aldi or grocery
Really?
store. If you can sneak it out and take it, please.
I'm
Do
sure
it.
they'd be happy to give them to you.
A lot of
they,
times they do.
Yeah.
They're a nuisance getting in the way. So I'll take as many boxes as I can find.
bizarre.
That's the best friend to a chicken guy.
I love it.
That's some of my flock right there. That's the older portion of my flock. So what's nice is with my barn, I have a partition to where I have an indoor space within the barn for the younger birds that are like in the adolescent ward, I guess you could say.
Okay.
They're not producing eggs, so they need to have a more higher protein diet to build their bodies. These are my full flock, which are egg producing breeds right now. So with those, there's about 80 of them there, give or take, I'd probably say in that picture. As you can see, it's a very mixed flock. I got barred rocks. I got Brahmas in there too, Rhode Island Reds. You name it, I got it pretty much.
This is a rainbow of chickens.
It is a true rainbow.
It is totally tutti frutti. I love
That was
it.
my goal. When I thought about it, I said, I want a rainbow. I want to be able to cover every color in the basket, every shape in the basket.
When people talk about free range, what does that exactly mean? Because this to me, this looks like, okay, they're not caged, but when they talk about free range, does that necessarily mean that they're in grass pasture, or does that mean that they're like this? They can run around inside, outside. What does that mean exactly?
There's pasture raised and there's
Okay,
free range too. Like free range, they're ranging outside of a barn. They're not actually confined to like a cage.
Okay.
So you've heard of like cage free eggs. Well,
yes,
they can actually term it cage free if they just create a big enough space for their bodies to fit outside
that's
and come
what
back
I
in.
wondered. Okay.
So the guidelines are it's very cruel, I guess you could say, of how the guidelines are created.
Okay.
Like chickens can be put into such a confined space and you don't have to say anything about where they came from.
That's what I
then
thought.
cage free, they're not actually in the cage. They have just a small space to go outside. It's not even very large. I mean, you could probably fit a handful of chickens, let's say in like a 10 by 10 space, usually to feel comfortable. They're probably putting closer to 100 in that kind of
Wow.
space. And considering that cage free.
Mary else said something about that. It's
the stress levels in these chickens,
Right.
because they are confined. They don't get the exposure to moving around, the nutrients in the ground, in the grass, and all those things.
Yeah.
The mindset of being free, right? That creates a lot less stress. You can imagine just for humans. So a chicken,
yeah.
And then you have free ranging, so that can be they're confined into an outdoor run area, but also let to free range then as well. And then there is like pasture raised, meaning like they're just out there free roaming all the time.
And that's what yours are, because I've seen pasture. I've seen your chickens run around the pasture, right?
And I do run them around, but I've gotten to the point where my flock is so big, I kind of need to start consolidating them. So I give them monitored time now, I guess you could say.
Okay.
So when I'm not on the farm, I don't let them out. But if I'm on the farm, I'll let them out.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of a thing. I don't let them out 24/7 anymore because the nighttime is very dangerous.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I
with
close
coyotes,
everything up.
Yeah.
So I make sure everything's nip tight, making sure they're all in the barn at night, because you got things like coyotes, raccoons,
I was just going to
possums,
wonder if
skunk,
raccoons.
all sorts of predators like that will come after eggs. They'll come after chickens. Some will take the chickens. Some will eat a portion of the chicken and leave it there to die. There's all sorts of problems you could have.
And I assume you speak from experience. You've had all those.
Oh, yeah. When you get into chickens, you got to realize you're going to have a lot of death around you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Even raising chicks, you're going to lose 1 out of 10 most of the times.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Same situation, and I like that.
Yep, more of the flock, just showing you the different production blue breeds and Starlight Green Eggers. All different breeds here we got.
I love this.
I get the Jersey Giants. I got everything. One of every color.
You got a clean zone, clean area, clean farm there. I love this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
We try to keep it pretty tidy.
Sure.
That's a silky breed. So those are from China originally. Silkies.
Oh, wow.
But that's the big craze right now. Everyone wants the silkies because they look different. They got extra toes, fuzz on their feet.
Extra toes?
Yeah, they got an extra toe on their hand.
I knew somebody.
Their hand.
I knew on their feet. I knew someone that said they had an extra toe. I didn't believe them, but that was a person, not a chicken. So I didn't. I don't know. Yep. That's so funny.
Yep. And that's a picture of what our farm stand looks like with a beautiful sunset from our property.
That is beautiful.
We have it sheltered here behind the tree to just keep it secure, because we do get some, like I said, some nasty wind out there.
Yeah. So when you get a wind like that, can you board that thing up, or is it open?
I leave it open like that. And I actually have a refrigerator unit in there now too, to keep the eggs, I guess you could say kept, cold and refrigerated like they need to be from the elements. But I actually originally had that stand situated up close to the road. And because that wind's coming from the west, that's the west that we're facing there, looking at the sunset. Okay. If the wind comes hard enough, it could knock the stand right over.
I can see that. You'd be like a parachute almost.
So I just gave it a 90-degree turn, put it by our mulberry tree. I got it secured in case the wind does pull, but it's been perfect there ever since, knock on wood.
Good deal.
And that's a view of our house from our fourth road, our little country road just off the Interstate 39 out of where we live.
Beautiful place.
It is. And we got a new roof now, actually. That old asbestos roof we got removed, and we put up one of those metal roofs up there now.
Oh wow!
But it looks like it's asphalt, actually, like a shingle roof.
It does. It does.
With the one we got now, you have to come check it out.
Are people honest when they do this?
Are people honest?
When they go to the stand, they get eggs and
surprisingly.
I mean, you don't man this thing. I would assume
it's self-serve 100%. I do have a camera out there just to keep an eye on things, kind of, but.
Have you ever had anybody?
I haven't had any issues with people just taking eggs.
Really?
They leave their money, or they'll actually see me at the farm and they'll say, hey, I just want to let you know I didn't leave an extra dollar there, but I'll leave it next time. Like, that's fine. I'm not here to just count the change every single day and go, oh my goodness.
That's honesty, isn't it?
It's great. It's been pretty nice overall. Pretty cool. And what's nice is I really don't leave more than 10 dozen in there at a time.
Sure.
So at the worst case scenario, they snag $10 out of my piggy bank there and a couple dozen eggs.
You're smart.
So I try to do little at a time.
Yep.
Oh, that's just a picture of a chick, like how you kind of raise them indoors yourself. I just use, basically old storage boxes, and I use a little heater plate for them. My friend taught me that, it's not good to always use that just to heat lamps alone. First, they're dangerous because you can catch fires.
Sure.
Right? That's the big thing. But having that intense light on them all the time can mess with their minds a little bit, and they don't get their balance of night and daytime cycles.
Yeah, I never would think of that.
Right. So I did this technique instead, so I can have an LED light in there for, making kind of like daylight times, and I turn it off at night and turn it back on in the morning.
You could do that maybe with a lamp timer, the old
you could do
lamp timers
too.
Okay.
Yep, but I check on them so much, I just go and check on them. I do
shut
that
them
thing.
off. Yeah.
Now in the barn, I do light therapy for them in the wintertime. The layers. I'll actually set up lights in there with timers.
Oh, you do?
Yep. So they come on at like 5 a.m, and they'll stay on till about 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Just and a supplement.
And the roosters know when to crow.
They still know. Oh, they know when to crow.
They probably know whether the light's out or not. Huh?
Yeah, we got about 8 or 9 guys. They know. They know what's going on.
When we were in Brazil, there in the city where Mariel's mom lives, every morning, and I don't care, raining, not, it was like every morning, and they are like a little alarm clock. They know exactly the same time. This is so fun.
Yep. It's amazing how they, for the most part, I'd say 99% of them know when to go back into the barn at night.
I wonder if you could just set your iPhone to that way and make checking the time.
Pretty much. It's like, it's 8:33. There, I'd say only one of them's left outside right now. I go check out. Yep, that's right.
Hey, here's a classic picture. You and Bianca. This is great.
That's the love of my life right there.
Yeah,
I'm so blessed to have her in my life and provide that beautiful son right there to me and our daughter as well.
She is awesome for sure.
Yeah, she's been a big help, big support to me through all this. I've definitely frustrated her a lot through this entire thing, but I always have to remind her, I am your muse. We need to keep doing this. This is good for us. It's fun.
Well, I think it's cool because I have the luxury of having heard the whole story of how you met when she was my co-host here, and that was quite a story.
Absolutely.
And I think about that every once in a while. I think it's a very
kind
good
of fun.
story. Yeah.
And that's just our sign that you can see from the road. That way we're advertising that they are unwashed, ungraded, nest run. It's very important to do these things to stay compliant in the state of Illinois. You don't want to get in trouble with the Department of Agriculture over little things like this.
Sure.
Just display things properly, read the bylaws, know what you're getting yourself into before you do it. And what's awesome though, is when you do apply for that license, they are so supportive for you. They communicate through email very effectively.
Really?
They make you feel very personal too with the way they talk to you through email. So it's like a tight-knit group kind of feel to it.
I have to tell you what I like most about this sign.
Yeah.
Is that it's you made that gate, I'm sure, and then you hand painted the sign. It isn't like you had some fancy, lettering, fancy commercial sign made. You did this yourself, which by the way just everything goes along with what you're doing there.
Everything on our property is basically what's been there at the farm when we moved in.
Yeah.
Lumber that's there, fence post, you name it. I took all these items. I told myself, I'm not going to spend a lot of money doing this. I'm going to invest into what I have here and take what I have and make it something special. So that's what I've done ever since the beginning.
That's very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah, I'm very frugal about this. I'm just trying to do it as wise as possible and see if this is something I can make a really good whirl at.
It's similar to your name, Frugal Fogle.
Frugal Fogle?
I like that.
I've heard that before.
Have you really?
Yeah.
I'm not the first one.
What's nice is the fence on the left-hand side was already there, so I just extended it with the fences that they had laying around. They had all this extra material, so I was like, well, this is a perfect area to make my chicken run, add some protection with the cinder blocks so predators can't get in, and the only thing I bought on the entire aspect there that you can see are the screws in the wood and the chicken wire over the top, just to keep bear predators away.
Those blocks keep the diggers out of there.
Yeah, it keeps the diggers out. It helps out a lot. And sometimes you'll see a spot where a predator is trying to get in, and I just add another block.
Really?
Sometimes they find little nooks and crannies I don't see.
The blocks are only on one side though. That's good enough. They don't.
I actually have it on the outside of this entire run. I have it lined with 4x4s.
Oh, okay. So
as
you got
well as some
something
railroad ties, things like that. Fence posts.
It's interesting.
So I have a double layered.
And those chickens could fly over the top of those fences if you didn't have that.
A lot of them could. Yep, they could. So on average, before I had that netting up, I'd have a good 20, 25 out of them, no matter what, out of there. Jumping out.
Really?
They could fly that well.
Holy smokes.
So I have the net there mainly to keep them in, but also because we do have aerial predators like eagles. Bald eagles I've seen land around us a lot, and they will go after chicken.
Really?
Owls will too.
No, I did not know that.
Yep. So you want to create some kind of barrier if possible.
Yeah.
If you don't have tree cover and things like that,
yeah.
It's nice having like a guard dog, obviously, and things like that, or like a donkey or a geese or whatever it might be to sound the alarm. But I don't want to deal with all those things. I just want to stick to the chickens. So I just built my cover.
Makes great sense.
Oh, okay. So I did a lot of weird things because our barn's partitioned. We have a front section, which is just open for storage. And then we have a back section, which is where the chickens are housed.
Okay.
So where that run was that you saw, I built a tunnel system through the front partition with some old antique doors through. So there's an automatic water feeder there. And then it goes through that central wall into the main coop, which I think will probably be shown in the next picture.
Okay.
I feel like another angle of what's going on there. Yeah, so that's then inside the barn. So at the back right-hand corner there is where I cut a hole through the barn. So that tunnel extends right through there.
Okay.
So they run through the tunnel outside to the run area, which is like a 70 by 20 space.
Okay.
so they can go be free, enjoy the sunlight if they want to, or stay shaded underneath the little blind area.
Extremely cool.
Yep.
I love that.
We have water in the barn, electricity in the barn. I do have a heater in there, but I haven't had to use it. Thank goodness. They keep it very warm in the winter overall. Surprisingly comfortable in there at times.
I can imagine.
It's just another view of the system that we put in there. I wanted to utilize my space effectively and not make huge changes, something I could deconstruct pretty quickly if I had to.
Yeah.
That's just some of our chicks then that we raise then as well. I think those are some green egg laying ones with the blonde colored ones, and the other ones are chocolate egg colored with the Morans.
Oh, very cool.
I've gone through so many stages of getting chicks that even the chicken man's impressed. He goes, I don't know how you're getting chicks again. You're getting chicks again, and I'm like, I just have the space and I have the time to make it happen.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll have 2 or 3 bins of chicks, in the basement at the house, getting ready to go out in the barn till they're, till it's warm enough for them to make it out there.
Yeah. I wonder, what would it take for, I'm sure a lot bigger operation, but what would it take for a guy to say, hey, I just want to do chickens. I don't want to work for anybody else. Yeah.
2,000, I'd say. Maybe maybe 3,000. I'd say that's close to the number. And that's also a licensing guideline that if you have over 3,000 birds on your property, you have to have a different license.
Okay.
Because now you're looking about infectious diseases and other things like that, and really protecting your property.
Now, would that be just selling eggs, or would that be something where you'd say, well, we also sell the chickens too?
That would be selling the chickens. It'd be mass producing, trying to sell to bigger box stores if possible, things like that.
Okay. So
I'd have to have a lot of birds on that property. And at that point, my barn was not big enough. I would have to have mobile units. It would be insane. That'd be my full-time job. Like you're saying, that'd be a lot to take on.
Is there ever something you thought, when my son and my daughter grow up and we want to do that and everybody's in, maybe I'll think about that. I don't know. What do you think?
I brainstorm about that all the time. I daydream about that. I could, if I can do 200, I can do 2,000. I think about that sometimes.
Before the show, you and I were talking about how the modernization of corporations is kind of an up and coming thing, or just developing, every day.
Absolutely.
And that does, give one cause for consideration of like, hey, what would I do if my job went bye-bye or something like that? And you've got something already in place that you could easily.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. I could start, incubating all my own eggs and hatching out hens my own and make my own breeds and selling the meat for meat birds and eggs and all those things and selling to people. I absolutely could. I could definitely make that happen if I needed to.
Well, and that kind of goes to my second to last question is, what changes do you anticipate down the road with your chicken operation, poultry operation?
I think I'm gonna probably focus on my own breeding. Honestly, that's my big thing. I think
That's cool.
I think I want to focus on sourcing everything myself as much as possible, learning more into how to make my own feeds, even things like that.
Wow.
Instead of just having to buy the store bought stuff
That's
or
cool.
buying it off the pallet, so to speak. I want to learn more about what I should be growing and producing myself. I obviously know gourds are one of the most beneficial things, but there's only a strict timeline that those are ready. So I want to figure out, what fruits and vegetables I can start growing throughout the entire year and be prepared more for like the winter time and things like that. It's obviously your grains, your wheat, your Milo, oats, corn, things like that are very essential. But just learning about all the other plants that are very good for chickens in general is very fascinating to me.
Yeah, I think that's very cool. Before I ask you about where we can connect, is there anything that you would like to mention that we didn't cover, that I didn't ask you or anything like that?
Man, we covered a lot. We brought up the Rural King workers. We brought up the work friends. We brought up the roosters' names. Man, we did the sing along. Oh, did I tell you I sing to them?
No, I don't believe we did. We covered that.
So
tell me about that.
I don't know. I've read this. This might be baloney.
What's that all about?
I hear that Dolly Parton is like the best thing to have chickens listen to. My mom told me this, so it's an old wives' tale, you could say.
Okay.
But I started playing it inside the barn when I'm out there collecting the eggs and doing stuff, and it's a pretty cool vibe in there.
Wow.
Well, I just stopped playing on my phone. I just sing it myself now. I just sing "I'll Always Love You." I'll sing Jolene to Jolene every day of the week out there.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It's just fun. I enjoy it, and I think they enjoy hearing my voice because chickens, they do start to recognize. I hear they can recognize like anywhere from 1 to 200 faces.
Really?
They can recognize different birds just because how they see UV light. They can see the difference in their feather patterns and tell them all apart.
Holy
They are
smokes.
really good at, really intelligent, surprisingly in certain ways.
So chickens aren't, like when you said they're not quite as unintelligent as
they're dumb, but they're actually pretty smart. You know what I mean?
interesting.
There's
Yeah.
people like that.
Yeah, well, yeah. I might be one of those people. You never
me
know.
too. Yeah.
I love it. Well, let's show people, or tell people rather, where they can connect with you online.
Oh, absolutely. So if you use TikTok, you can find us on there. You can find us at Fogle Fam 2. If you want to find us on Facebook, that's Green Eggs and Fam LLC. You can look us up. We have our business page on there. All of our information for our locations on there. You can message us if you're looking for big orders, special color key orders, anything you want. You ask, I can try to make it happen for you.
That's very cool. Extremely cool, and a very, very interesting, I guess, operation. I guess is the best. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been jumping through my hoops, getting my licensings, all my information that I need to line up before I made it an official business. But you can find us on Google Maps now if you type it in. So that way it directs you right to my house where you pick up those eggs. So
that's very cool.
I'm trying to connect the people every way possible.
We haven't made it out there for your eggs, but I totally plan on doing that. Mary and I both do. But I hear they're the freshest eggs you could ever ask for.
First dozens on the house.
Oh, well, we appreciate that. Then that's a little more encouragement for us to do it soon. I'd love
to have you over.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kyle, thank you for being my guest here. It was a pleasure having you on the show. And I'm sorry that your wife couldn't be with us this evening, but totally, we'll get you guys on. I think that would be fun to have you both on.
Luckily, we got a lot of personality already here, so we're
I love it. Listen. And that's all for now, kids. This is CW Getz saying thanks for tuning in to Outdoors People. See you next time.